Hello everybody, and just here, and welcome back to Saihate no Paladin Season 2, Episode 6. It's gonna be a double recording, so if you guys left some comments under Episode 5, I'm not gonna read them until Episode 6, because Episode 5 is uploading as we speak. It's still like 5 more hours until Shangri-La Frontier new episode releases, so might as well just record another episode of Saihate no Paladin and catch up a little bit more with it. Right, what happened in the previous episode? Will and Ru, who we now know is actually named Vindalfar, had a run-in with Stagnate Herald. Not an Echo, Herald. That Herald talked about Stagnate values, right? How much he values humans, people in general, how much he values strong people in particular. We learned that the dragon Valakirka has been hurt by the Dwarven king. And we know that Valakirka is waking up slowly but surely, sending some roars down the mountains that scare the local wildlife and the local giants and everybody living in the forests, every monster, every demon, so that they run rampant and they rampage throughout the area. At the same time, Stagnate says that sure, Will could probably go and fight Valakirka, but he's not ready yet. He will die. Straight up, if he goes against Valakirka, he will not survive this. Then there's a fight with some scared lizards. Then Will suplexes a giant and frees him from the influence of Valakirka. Let me start this episode with noting down a theory. The Jotun come to aid Will with Valakirka fight. Entirely possible. Then Will and Vindalfar go back to town. The town suffers a little bit, the rampaging animals. Then there is a little bit of a dwarven uprising. The dwarves of the Torchport want to go and defeat the dragon, or they want to go and fight the dragon. They want a continuation of the battle that they were dismissed from, and they want to just straight up die in that battle to reclaim their honor. All of them are beaten into submission by Vindalfar, who reveals his true name then, and also reveals that he's the grandson of the king. And he says that, hey, you shouldn't really be going into this with this, this mindset. Where's your dwarven pride? Do you really just intend to go there and die, not win? Where's your, right? Are you really dwarves right now? I'm gonna go there with Will instead, and I'm gonna reclaim the dwarven pride if you see yourselves unfit to do that. Of course, Will also, after much ruminating, says that he will go there and defeat the dragon. Menel joins them, because of course, Reistov joins them as well. And what's his face? Gelreis, one of the older dwarves, also joins them as a guide through the Rust Mountains. Then we see Anna see Reistov off. There is some hints at maybe some budding romance between those two, at least one-sided. Will meets with Tonio and Bean. Tonio prepared some supplies for them. B, of course, sees an opportunity to write a saga. Already is working on a prequel. He's gonna be using Will's words verbatim. in that very prequel, and we set off towards the dragon. The title of today's episode is A Brief Return Home, I believe, something like that, so I fully expect us to go back, visit Gus, perhaps consult with him. And at the end of the episode, Will also gets a blessing from Gracefield to defeat the dragon. And in today's episode, as I mentioned, I expect us to go back to the temple, consult with Gus. Maybe he will have some way to help us defeat the dragon. Maybe we're gonna go enlist help from some other places as well. Menel's village, perhaps. We know that there's gonna be another elf appearing in the show. And that's basically it. We have a lot of episodes until the season ends, and we already are setting towards that finale, so I don't know, kind of hard to figure out what's exactly gonna happen until we arrive and defeat the dragon, unless the dragon is actually not going to be the climax, unless the fight with the dragon is gonna be in like episode 8, and then episode 12 is going to be another big thing that ends the season. We'll see all about it in this episode, of course, so we're gonna have to watch it, of course, to see. So to do that, you will need your subs to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show, and I'm gonna have to ask you for your support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon or YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, cost you nothing, helps a lot. And with that, we can start watching Saihate no Paladin Season 2 Episode 6 in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, it started. Where are we right now? That's not Will's mansion. Is this episode 6, actually? It is. Are you in the capital? At Rex's place? At Bagley's? I don't know. We'll see. And also, I just noticed this bird flying through here. That's the Herald of Stagnate, isn't it? Also, I wonder where Will is going to get his tower shield from. He has a buckler, last I checked. Assuming he even uses any shield at all. Yeah, we are yet to meet her. Sorry if I'm gonna be yawning a little. I'm getting a little bit of a caffeine crash, I guess. Had a coffee recording the episode 5, and now I'm feeling it. Yeah, a brief return home. Okay, so towards Will's mansion, and they are setting off now. Alright. The thing? What do you mean by the thing? Earl Grey with lime. Earl Grey with lemon is great, but Earl Grey with lime is something else entirely. I'll tell ya what. Okay, there we go. That's better. By boat, curiously. Are we going to the temple? Are we going straight for the mountains? Where even is the temple relative to the torch port? Who are you lot? Rex's people? Ethelbald's? Reistov's friends? Why are we ditching the boat? Yeah. Okay. I didn't think the demons would be like smart enough to do any of that, honestly. Okay. That's actually a good plan. Demons will be protecting one side of the mountain and they're just going to sneak their way through the other side. Sure, makes sense. Oh, the return home could also be for Vindalfar and Galerace, because they're gonna be returning to the Iron Mountains. Oh? A side quest? Or is this the... Yeah, that's the town next to the temple. Yes. Okay. So we are visiting home. Is that the first time Will tells anybody about it? Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Cool. I'm glad some people know about it now. Probably Gus's handiwork. Yep. Yes. What was that about decades? Yeah. Okay, just hacking the mist. Why not? Per aspera ad astra. Okay. Yep. That's the city. So we are actually here to consult Gus. Okay. I was wondering where the torchport is relative to the temple. Now I guess I have my answer. Why not bring everybody? Right? Have your friends meet your grandfather. And your parents light a candle on their grave. Oh, he's not going for gas, he's going for the graves, of course. What's Gus up to? Does he even exist still? Or did he just wither away? Couldn't help himself. I mean, he has an entire city, so I guess. Yeah, that's not a concern. No, not quite. None. Those are your fantasies, Gus. Oh, and there's also that, yes. There are no women in his party. Far as women in his life are concerned, there's only Anna, who seems to have a crush on Rastov, and B. Right, can't we pay him? Right? Yeah, you don't necessarily need to kill the dragon. You can pay it. You can even make it turn into a lolly girl, as dragons are wont to do. Oh, you've met? Okay. I mean, yeah, time does that to people. His old room, his desk, his bed. Probably a lot of dust on it, but hey. Not even, surprisingly. Maybe Gust cast a dust prevention spell or something. Yeah. And will, of course, treat everything like it's completely normal. Ah. Right. Oh, I guess he's been cleaning the place. Hmm. I mean, maybe you can still bargain with him. Right, spells need to land. Magic? Mm-hmm. And also at a disadvantage in physical battle as well. Yeah. No, what? So no way to win physically, no way to win magically, no way to bargain. The only possibility I see is some sort of Tokuno Jutsu working. Oh. Right, there was something like that. Yeah. Right. Right. Oh, maybe you're gonna have something to bargain with Valakirka. Yeah? Hmm. Okay, so a gear upgrade. Yeah, that's gonna give you a fighting chance against the dragon at least. More of a fighting chance, that is. Hidden, of course. That's a nice armory. So we have an answer where Will got his tower shield from. Yep. Sure. You could use some proper armor at least. Okay. That's fair. You are used to the weapon, but you can always enchant it. You also want some enchantments? Okay, well that bow is gonna fit you. Easy. Okay, now they're really gonna have a better fighting chance. Nice mace. Don't you need armor? A pole axe? Right, there's more to those heroes, the people who fought, than just the three great heroes, right? Many more people sacrificed their lives for the meager victory they got. B? No. There is legit nobody in Will's life. You're gonna wait a long time for your great grandchildren. Unless Meneldor grows a womb, then it might take a little less time. I wonder if the elf girl, Dinalind, is gonna be the one meant for Will. Unless she's gonna be shipped with Meneldor, unless she's not gonna be shipped with anybody, that's also entirely possible. On one hand, I kinda like it that there is no like romantic subplot, because it's fresh, it's new, right? Like every single series out there, and I mean every fucking single one, needs to have at least some romance nowadays. This one doesn't need to. And it shows that it doesn't need to. It's very good on its own merit. On the other, I really wouldn't mind, at least a little bit, right? I'm not saying entire romantic subplots, but have someone who, I know, Will takes for a walk around the city and show her the best restaurants in it. Or, right? Someone. At least someone. Asleep beneath the water. Alright. I have no fucking clue what's that gonna mean, but we'll see. we'll see in the next episode, but right now we will see this one again, as we always do. Yeah, so this is Will's mansion. I really was confused. Are we in the capital? Are we in the temple right now? Did we time skip? Did we not? But no, this is William's mansion at the Torchport. One thing I do have to notice in this show, in how it's shown, everything is very barren at times, right? Like this shot, this is extremely barren. There is no, vines growing on the walls. There is no difference in windows, like, some windows being closed, some being open. There is no flower bed in front of the building, right? There's nothing. It's just a lawn. Just completely empty, completely flat, with a tree here and a tree there. It kind of reminds me of when you download Unreal Engine for the first time and you download a few packs of assets of random trees and stuff, and you sculpt a landscape and you place some trees, and it's just empty. Like, sure, there's some trees here, there's some trees there, there's a building from some village asset pack, but it doesn't look like, Witcher 3 or Skyrim or whatever other game nowadays does, with a lot of tiny little detail. It really could use a little bit more detail here. On one hand, I understand why there isn't many. The people here are much more busy with just surviving on a day-to-day basis, so they don't really have the time or the mental capacity to start caring for the flowers in the garden of their lord's mansion, right? It's not a priority, so they don't do that. On the other, I don't know, it could use at least some training dummies or something, anything. OP. And here, similarly, like, sure, this used to be an abandoned city, empty and ruined, but now it's being brought back to life, and the port has nothing. You'd expect a fishmonger's stall, maybe some children playing around, something, but no, it's just empty. It's, again, very, I downloaded Unreal Engine and started making a map, and it doesn't look like I wanted it to look for some reason kind of vibe. Yeah, there is something between Erased and Anna. How do I note it down? Shipping Ray, Stove, and Anna. I fully expected Anna to have a crush on Will, or Will have a crush on Anna, or something in that direction being developed. I really, Race of X Anna would have been way down my list of ships, honestly. Then again, we don't really have that many ships in the show, do we? William X Menel, William X Anna. That's basically it. There aren't really any other obvious or non-obvious couples, are there? B isn't really interested in anybody. Nobody is really interested in B either, right? And there aren't really any more female characters besides Anna and B. So you can't really find any potential couples. I wonder what will the appearance of Dina Lind change in that regard, if anything at all, because again, it doesn't have to. But yeah, as I said, on one hand, it's fine. It's kind of even cool and fresh and new that there isn't any focus on romance. But I wouldn't mind seeing someone see Will off, just like Anna is seeing Restov off right here. For example, again, I'm not saying that I want full episodes of Will going on a date with a girl, or Will agonizing over what to buy her for her birthday, or the girl being jealous for B, or, you know, any shit like that. But there's like a few seconds every other episodes. It really would spice things up a little, I guess, maybe you could say. Not spice things up, but it would give Will another thing to care about, another person to care about a little bit more deeply, maybe. And it would create a person who cares deeply about Will. Because, and is also, maybe, probably, a complete civilian, because sure, Menel cares about Will a lot, but they are always together, they always go on their adventures together, they always fight together. So there is no situation of Will having to leave their loved ones behind and go on a dangerous quest, right? There's no element like that. And it would really add a little bit of value, I think. Just like this adds, again, it's not much. Anna isn't throwing herself at Restov, kissing him as a goodbye. They aren't seen going on dates, none of that. But you can see that care, that she cares about Restov. And now, if Restov dies, I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna be very sad. I don't want Restov to die, because I don't want Anna to be sad. Right? It kind of ups the stakes a little bit. Time for the heroes to take off. Yep, hero's journey. We're switching boats because I kind of didn't realize, didn't remember, I don't know, that demons are intelligent to this point. I really was confused here because when you're switching boats or switching your mode of transportation and you want to throw someone off, it's because someone's tailing you or someone's trying to figure out where you're gonna go, or right, something like that. And I don't ascribe those qualities to demons. I wouldn't suspect demons of tailing well, of spying on them. So it kind of felt odd. But yeah, demons are, I guess, intelligent in this world, in this show. So maybe they are spying on Will. Maybe they actually will follow the decoy and they will protect one side of the mountain and we're gonna go through the other side. Just like Will is planning. If you go even further south than Torchport, there's a lakeside town that the High King took over and is very dangerous. Even veteran adventurers are helpless amid the swirling mists of magic. And yeah, that sounds exactly like the death world where Will grew up. I'm glad that Will finally told someone about his upbringing, right? Someone knows it. All this time it was kind of treated as a deep secret for an understandable reason. But now I guess it's a little bit more out in the open. It's cool. There's a lot of potential in that. Maybe spreading the word about it. Maybe B can write a song about it. I know. And it will also lead all of William's followers who know about it to understand him a little bit better. God of the Undead, yep. Can't believe you never told me. Actually, yeah. I actually fully expected Will to tell Menel first and tell him a little bit earlier, but I guess Will just doesn't see it as anything particularly special. He doesn't want to brag, he doesn't want to talk about it all that much. He grew up where he grew up. right, everybody grows up somewhere, will just happen to grow up there. He doesn't see that as anything particularly special. Maze Fog. And just like that. Per aspera ad astra. And we are back home. See, they should have taken over this city, not the Torchport. And of course, visiting Mary and Blood first, and going for Gus. Gus couldn't help himself. Of course, talking about money. I mean, Will can tax his people, so he can get a lot of money as a lord. You were taken in by some noble woman's widow. No. All his sweat and blood. What of your love life? None. Strong-willed girl disguised as a bandit. Meneldor. Peddler girl who's running from guards. B? Or Tonio? No, neither of them were running from guards. B and Tonio were running from monsters. Reistov was recruited at a tavern. No, I don't think this description fits anybody in Will's environment. And they were all guys, yeah. Meeting the grandfather, that's cool. I like it. I like that Will finally has someone that he can introduce to Gus. There's a chance you can resolve everything with money and goods. Yep. We can hope to bribe Valakirka, essentially. There's no need to limit yourself to just one possible solution. Yep. We're staying here for the night. Gus apparently met Gelreis before, 200 years ago, so that gives us an idea of just how long-lived the dwarves are. Nostalgia for the old room. Again, completely barren, completely empty, just the bare minimum, not even a rug on the floor, nothing, zero decoration. Now, in this context, I guess it kinda makes sense, but just about barely, really. But in the context of the wider world, I don't know, I'm kind of missing something at least. A rug or a flower pot on the desk or something. He could see right through me. Yeah, right, he's amazing, isn't he? He can see right through people. He's so incredibly powerful. Everybody's freaking out because they are faced with essentially a fucking walking demigod. And Will is like, oh yeah, my grandpa is so cool, isn't he? Taking it all in stride because, I mean, he was brought up, he was raised by those people. Are you the bandit girl? Yes. Yes, maybe you should stop wearing bloomers, then people would not mistake you for a girl. Bloomers and thigh-high boots as well. Valakirka. Employed by the demons. Dragon scales are tough, not even blood can cut through them to his flesh, so that's not gonna work. You're probably not gonna be able to stab it. Stab it to death, or slash it to death, or punch it to death even. Words of obliteration? Yeah, sure, maybe, but you're gonna have to aim them properly, and you're gonna have to have enough time to spell them out properly. And dragons, they're flying through the sky because they are one with the words. They use the words to fly. They are amazing at using words, so the chance that you can outword the dragon, also fairly slim. You will lose in direct combat, melee. You will lose in magic combat. You don't have enough money to bribe it. Ambush, maybe, sure, but the demons will tip him off that, hey, there are intruders in the cave. Prepare, wake up. So that doesn't work either. No way to bargain, no way to win in melee, no way to win in magic. But I have to do that anyway. This is courage. 2 episodes ago, there was a talk about what is courage, and Will said that he doesn't see himself going against the Wyvern as being courageous because he knew that he's going to win. Now, he doesn't know he's going to win. On the contrary, he realizes that most probably he will lose, and yet, still, he goes for it. That is courage. Being alive and not being dead aren't the same thing. Yeah, being on the run and running away and just existing. Can't really call that living, can you? Tale of how you 3-kill the Wyvern. There's a half-elf girl you lend the money to, and we can get that debt back and perhaps use it to bribe Valakirka after all. Equipment used by the comrades who battle the High King still rests in this city. That's a very nice armory. Surprisingly many, like, clones. Right? You would think that those people were more or less a ragtag band, and yet you see like 6 identical bows, 3 identical swords, 3 identical shields. I don't know. Maybe they had spares. Maybe they had just generic versions from a chain of blacksmiths or something. But yeah, there are also some unique weapons, I guess you could say. Tower shield for Will. Erased, though, of course, he doesn't want anything. Just some words onto his existing sword. Nameless, but fine. Long use with care. I assume being used for a long time with great care is what kinda gives the weapon potential. That's kind of my interpretation of it. So because Reista was using this sword for so much and he cared about it so much, it's essentially named itself as Sword of Reistov and can take engraved words really well, probably. Pelperion the Silver String, one of the ancestors of Menel. Mithril Bowstring. Even Gus is surprised. Something tells me that the visit in this armory is what's going to give them an edge over Valakirka. Actually, equipment from Gus gives them an edge in fight. I would have said an edge in battle, but I didn't have enough space on the page, so fight it is. Full armor set of Bavor, the Blade Breaker. You could probably wear it. You could use a piece of armor, but apparently he only grabs a mace. Ru or Vindalfar gets a pole axe that belonged to Ewing the Fierce. Interesting, because Vindalfar never used a long weapon, a pole arm of any sort. He was using an axe. I think he was using a sword, but like a one-handed sword at some point. We haven't seen him train with a pole arm, so I wonder how good is he actually going to be with it. It's kind of like a bardiche even, isn't it? Because it has the hook, the stab, and the slash. Yeah, it's a bard. Is it a bardiche? No, bardiche doesn't have a hook. It just has the axe thing. So it is a poleaxe, isn't it? Maybe, or something else entirely. Ah, poleaxe doesn't have a hook. Poleaxe has a hammer on it. No, there are poleaxes with a hook. In where is it? Alytus County in Lithuania, coat of arms. There is a poleaxe with a hook. Okay, so poleaxe. Oh, halberd. No, not a halberd. Halberd has a small. Is it a? Yeah, it's a halberd. It's a halberd. Yep. Exactly the same look as in illustration from 16th century. And the Vatican guards have something very similar. That's a halberd. Okay, now we established what kind of a weapon it is. Let's continue. Ewing, Bavor, Telperion, they all gave their lives. Yep. That's a lot of weapons. Some kitchen knives, almost. A labris. A couple of cutlass-looking things. A lot of armor. You could probably grab a little bit more. Can I bring a troubadour girl I know here? If I didn't know better, I would think this is a death flag for Will, but Will is not going to die. He's the protagonist after all. And B will be very, very pleased. Gus won't be, because she's not gonna give him the great-grandchildren that he wants. Alas. Yeah, Gus, you're gonna have to wait a little bit more for someone to maybe eventually appear in William's life, and I'm gonna be waiting with you, because yeah, I would like it if someone did appear in Will's life, some sort of a romantic relationship. I really, really would like for that to happen. Okay, cool. Cool episode. Does it glow yet? Yeah, there we go. I have to turn it off, let it rest, and then it glows with full intensity, and then it fades again. It was cheap though, so I guess. Another cool episode. Trip down the memory lane a little bit. I really would like for Blood and Mary to be alive. I'm gonna be honest here. I really mourn the fact that they are dead, because it would be so much fun having Blood and Mary also interact with William's friends, with William's new companions. Gus is cool, don't get me wrong, but like I would really like Blood to give a lesson to the dwarves, or spar with Reistov, right? I would really like maybe Mary guide some of the people who maybe don't have a patron god yet, or maybe don't have a big connection with their patron god, to forge that connection deeper, to get some blessings to help them in battle, right? I would really like to see things like that, but alas, they are dead. Only Gus remains, and I mean, sure, Gus turned out to be helpful because he gave them access to the armory, but I really expected him to have some sort of a hook that would help them fight Valakirka. As it turns out, not even Gus has any idea how to defeat him, besides money, besides bribing Valakirka out of fighting. But we know that it's not going to be easy, if at all possible, in the first place. Interesting. Interesting. I'm really curious where the fight with Valakirka, how the fight with Valakirka is actually going to go. Are they going for the bribe? Are they going for melee? Are they going for magic? Are they going for a combination of all of them? Maybe William's companions can pin Valakirka down so that Will can aim words of obliteration. Well, or I don't know. I don't know, but chances are that Valakirka can just silence him. So far, from everything that we've heard, everything that we've seen, it really doesn't seem like it's a fight that can be won. It really seems like they are just going to lose, they are just going to die, they are just going to throw away their lives. Now, sure, we have some vague reassurance from Gracefield saying that, oh, I will protect you, some vague reassurance from Will, from other people, but nothing like substantiated by any facts, right? Like, oh, Valakirka has an upside down scale, as is often the case in Japanese media. So aim for that. Or, oh, sure, Valakirka is resistant to all magic, but really weak to that one particular spell. So I'm gonna teach it to you, and you will train it, and you will use it on Valakirka. Or, you know, anything like that. Anything like that. There's nothing. There's no leeway, there's no hook, there's no destruction button that they can press and kill Valakirka. Nothing of the sort. Interesting. With this episode, though, we know how the journey is going to go, though, at least. I was wondering that we set off towards the dragon in episode 5, not even halfway through the season. Well, technically, they set off on their journey in episode 6, so halfway through the season, but you know what I mean. Is it actually going to take them this long to get there, or are they going to destroy the dragon in episode 8, or what exactly is going to happen? It really feels like there will be some travels on the way. We're not headed straight for Valakirka's nest. We're visiting Gus now, then we're probably going to visit the half-elf to get some money, to maybe bargain with Valakirka. Maybe we're gonna find some additional magical weapons. Maybe someone's gonna join our merry troop. There are things to still happen on the way, and I feel like the fight with Valakirka might actually be episode 10 or 11 or thereabouts. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see all about it in future episodes, I guess. But right now, I think that's gonna be it from me for today. So you guys, you tell me, what did you think of this episode, my reaction, my theories, stuff like that. No spoilers, please. Spoilers go to the Discord, the non-spoilery comments go down below. As always, like this video if you liked it, subscribe somewhere here to be notified of future videos, not only Saihate and Paladin, but also Magia Record, Shy, Helk, Shangri-La Frontier, Shield Hero, plenty others coming in the future. Click the bell to be notified when I go live, because I do stream sometimes. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon down below, where for $10 you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Magia Record, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. You can also support me on YouTube directly via memberships, super thanks, stuff like that, also down below. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, you don't have to. Share my content, spread the word, it costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's the list of my wonderful Patreons: QB, Without a Net, Group Survivor, Zayrin, Akamancer, Dr. Watt, Marshika, Life Fuzzle, and Hans Peter. And you can join them without having to swap boats to throw off demons chasing you.